God, you guys, I'm at work right now. I'm so scared. I don't like being here by myself. Like, if anything happens, it's gonna be scary. I feel like I'm in, like, an episode of American. See what I'm saying? What the fuck? Oh my God. Okay. See what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even want to connect me. It's fucking weird. Like, I work at this hotel. Like, I took this job at this hotel. There's a lot of weird shit going on, too. Like, I need to do a full video on it, but I can't do a full... Okay, I'm back. I had to fucking turn on my 4G. I do need to get a webcam. I have a Nikon L840 digital camera, which is a really good digital camera, but it doesn't, it says that it's not compatible with, like, webcamming. So, I don't understand that, though, because everybody's like, oh, you can fucking webcam with anything, so... Where did everybody go? There was, like, 7 people. Yeah, like, I have my Nikon, but it says that I can't use it for fucking webcamming. Oh my God, y'all, like, I'm in the fucking hood, like, it's scary. Oh my God. But yeah, like, I haven't, like, okay, this hotel's so weird, like, okay, I got a message on Instagram, and they were like, hey, like, are you interested in, or my friend was like, hey, are you interested in working somewhere, because I had just quit working at the bar, and I was like, I guess, yeah, where at? Like, I was just gonna go find a job at another bar. And, what's up, Stony Stone? I'm not young, I'm fucking old, but thanks for calling me young, lady. But, so, she was like, message this girl on Instagram, and she'll talk to you about it, and I was like, okay. So I messaged her, and she was like, do you want to work at this hotel and be at the front desk clerk? And I was like, okay, and I was like, what do you want me to do? And she was like, can you go in tonight from 11 until 7 a.m.? And I was like, I guess. Fucking weird, because usually, like, anytime you get a job at a fucking hotel, you have to, like, fill out a fucking application and all kinds of shit. So I showed up here at 11 o'clock, like, ready to work, and the girl at the front desk was like, hi, can I help you? And I was like, I'm here to work from 11 until 7. And she was like, who are you? And I was like, my name is Willow, but that's, you know, Willow Green song. And she was like, oh, who sent you? And I was like, Jessica. And they were like, well, she doesn't work here. And I was like, am I at the right fucking place? So then I, like, Google, and I'm at the right place. Like, I had, like, the address and everything. I was like, she was like, this is the right place. And I was like, what the fuck? So she was like, well, the manager will be here shortly. And, like, this guy comes, and, like, he's like, he didn't even know that I was supposed to be here. It's fucking weird. And he's, like, the general manager. And the owner, like, the people who bought the hotel are from, like, Atlanta. So, like, and halfway through, like, the night, like, of him training me, he was like, I think I'm getting fired. And I was like, what do you mean you're getting fired? Aren't you the manager? Like, what the fuck? And he was like, well, my managers called me from Atlanta, and they were like, this girl's showing up to work, and this other girl, I think I have a customer coming. Oh my God, you guys. And they were like, he was, like, confused because he didn't know that I was, like, coming or whatever. Yeah, I don't think that's a customer. I don't know. A lot of people go in and out of this place, like, all fucking night long. It's so creepy. Let me go back in this motherfucker before I get killed. So, anyways, so I get here, and I'm like, what did you do to get fired, you know? And he's like, well, I got into it with one of the girls that works here, like, one of his employees. And I'm like, well, that shouldn't matter, like, you're the fucking manager or whatever. And he was like, yeah, well, I got into it, and blah, blah, blah. So I find out, like, the next day that this lady is coming here from Atlanta. Like, she fucking flew in from Atlanta, and she's like the district manager or whatever for this company called JDH Developers. So I go and start looking up this fucking company. Like, I'm still working in here. Like, I don't even give a fuck if they see this, because I really don't give a fuck if I have this job or not, because everything's fucking weird anyways. So I start looking up this company, and then I find out that they're like a real estate company. Like, what they do is they buy and sell hotels. Like, they flip them. So they had the guy that was managing me, he drove all the way to Natchez, Mississippi from South Carolina for this job. And he was living in the apartment on the property, which he still is living in the apartment on the fucking property. So on the 4th is when I started. So I start Googling the address to the hotel. And then I find out that the fucking hotel is up for auction. The auction starts on December 4th and ends on December 6th. So I'm like somebody, like, what the fuck? Like, these people just bought this hotel. And then they turn around and put it back up for sale. And I think what they did was they let this hotel run for 3 months, a quarter, to see how it would do. And they were putting out more money than they were bringing in. So then they put it up for auction. The auction starts on December 4th. I started on November 4th. Yes, I will definitely subscribe to your channel. I like subscribing to people. Anybody that subscribes to me, I will subscribe to you. So anyways, there's like a bunch of other girls that work here too. And they were like, we're trying to get rid of these girls, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. Like, it's just weird, you guys. And then, like, randomly, they had a meeting at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I worked till 7 that morning. So I was already fucking tired because I had to come all the way back. At the meeting, they were like, do you mind getting a background check? I was like, no, I don't mind getting a background check. And she was like, okay, well, you have to go to the police station and you have to pay for it. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, I've worked for a lot of corporate companies, and I have never had to go pay for my own fucking background check. Like, usually, if a company hires you, they do the background check before they even fucking put you on payroll. See what I'm saying? And then they were like, and I was like, I'm not going to pay for it. Like, if you want to do a background check, you can go do it. Like, I don't care. And they were like, it's only $10. I was like, well, it's only $10, so go do it, you know? Well, then we found out, like, we didn't have to do the background check. Like, they decided not to. But the other girls still had to. I don't know, y'all. It's some fucking weird shit. And then, like, there's no fucking licenses on the wall, like, to even be fucking conducting business right now. Like, there's no fucking work permit. There's no the health department license expired in 2013. The fucking work permit expired in 2006. There's, like, nothing. Like, basically they're selling rooms illegally as fuck right now because they don't have no fucking work permit. So I find out, like, from other people, I'm like, what company is paying you guys? Like, what company is on your fucking payroll checks? And they're like, it's called the Lodge in Natchez. So I go to the Secretary of State's website and I go and look up the company, the Lodge in Natchez, and I find out that's a real estate company. I'm like, okay, so we're hired by a real estate company, but we're running the fucking hotel. Like, exactly, like, this place is fucking crazy. So we're hired by a real estate company, and then at the Secretary of State website, like, I'm looking to see if the address is for the hotel, like, because it's in Natchez, is listed through the Secretary of State. It's not listed. The address that's listed for the company that's paying us is out of Atlanta, Georgia. So we're basically employed through a company in Atlanta, Georgia that doesn't have a fucking LLC location in Natchez, but we're working in Natchez. Like, we're working at an address that doesn't have an LLC listed. It doesn't have a work permit. It doesn't have anything. Like, the people that are running the place, they are from India, and a lot of hotels are owned by, like, people from India or Middle Eastern people or whatever, like gas stations and stuff like that. So, like, my manager, he is Middle East, like, he's from India. So, but he's been living in the United States since 1997, since he was, like, 10, because he was only 30. So, the other people, like, I just thought he owned it, you know? I guess that's just because a lot of Indian people own hotels, and his last name is the same last name as theirs. But what I've come to the conclusion is that she drove down here from Atlanta. This is what I think is going on. The woman drove down here from Atlanta and fired him because they pay him salary, and they probably pay him anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000 a year. Okay, because he drove all the way here from South Carolina. So, hey Lunacy, I'm talking about this crazy shit with this hotel that I'm working at. So, what I think is they came down here, fired the guy, because they don't want to pay him salary, because they pay him between $60,000 and $80,000 a year, so they can fire him, and they have 30 days until the auction, so they have to get him out of the apartment. So if they get him out of the apartment and fire him on that high salary, they can hire somebody on a lower salary and save money. So they hired this girl through Indeed.com that is like a local around here. So she's working here now. And then she's the one that messaged me on Instagram. It was like, hey, do you want to work at this hotel? Come in at 11 o'clock and work till 7. Like, I hadn't even filled out an application yet. No tax paperwork, no nothing. I just showed up here to work. And the people that were here when I got here to work had no fucking idea who I was, had no idea who this girl was that told me to show up here to work. Like, weird shit. So the first night that all this shit happened to me, I was like, I have to look into this. Like, I can't just, like, not look into this. Like, I'm gonna look into it. So the address is not listed as an LLC. There's no work permits. There's no fucking permits to, no health department fucking permits, no fire marshal permits. There's nothing. Everything that's on the wall in here expired, and it was from the previous hotel owner, which was the Roadway Inn. And then if you go, I went to look up the reviews on the hotel on Yelp. There's 80 reviews, and every single one of them is 1 star, except for one. One of them's 5 stars, and it was a bad review, so they accidentally gave it 5 stars. And like most of like the clientele that I've seen come in here are like probably like hookers and like drug dealers or something, because I see like traffic coming in and out of this place, but nobody's getting rooms. Like, I don't know, like, I'm just here until I can fucking find me another bartending gig, because this is just, it's too, I'm scared I'm not even gonna get fucking paid. Randy Bean, he's still in jail as far as I know. Like, if you go listen to Luna C, she was reading off the transcripts and stuff, and it was pretty interesting. We so know you. Yeah, I do. I do need one of those. But there was no way that I could, like, have all this information, like, slapping me in the face and not go research it. Like, so what I'm going to do Monday, because this is fucked up. Like, okay, if they sell, my fear is that they're going to sell this, because they're saying that they're going to hold my first paycheck until December 28th is, like, when I'm supposed to get it. Okay, the fucking hotel goes up for auction on November 28th is when they're holding my paycheck. The hotel goes up for auction on December 4th. So I'm afraid that if they sell this fucking building, I probably won't ever get a fucking paycheck. And the company that I'm actually technically hired by a fucking real estate company that's in fucking Atlanta, Georgia. Right. Like, they fired, like, pretty much all the fucking employees that were here, like, when I came here, they fired, except for, like, 2 of them. And the ones that they fired got their last payroll check. And I was like, well, what company is paying y'all? Because there's no LLC for this fucking big-ass hotel. And they were like, it's called The Lodge in Natchez. So when I go look up The Lodge in Natchez at the Secretary of State's website, it says that it's a real estate business in fucking Atlanta, Georgia. But this is not a real estate business, it's a fucking hotel. So it's like, okay, what if they do sell the hotel? Then I go to the labor board in Jackson, Mississippi, and I file for my fucking payroll not getting paid to me. And then they're like, okay, well, what company did you work for? The fucking hotel is called the Fairbridge Inn. And I'm like, the Fairbridge Inn? They're going to see that there's no fucking Fairbridge Inn, like, licensed to be conducting business in Natchez, Mississippi. And then if I tell them, oh, well, then I work for the Lodge in Natchez, then they're going to look up the Lodge in Natchez, and they're going to say, oh, well, this is a real estate company that's in Atlanta, Georgia. So does that mean I'm going to have to go to Atlanta, Georgia and file with fucking the labor board there to get my fucking payroll? Like, how does that work? Does anybody know how that fucking works? Because I don't know. Like, they already owe me, like, I was supposed to get a payroll check for 2 days, like, my first, like, week. Like, I should have got a payroll check that had 2 days on it. But they held those 2 days. They were like, oh, we'll just put it on your next check. And I was like, okay, like, but you're gonna fucking pay me, right? And see, the girl that they hired, I think that she's, like, oblivious to what's really going on. Like, this fucking company bought this hotel for cheap as shit. The previous owner went bankrupt. They bought it from a bank, the people that bought it, JDH developers. They bought this hotel from a bank, and they bought it for really fucking cheap. They paid less than $300,000 for the fucking hotel. And so they bought it, and they've had it for 3 months, and they've been running it or whatever, but the hotel doesn't make that much money. Like, I've been working here since the 4th, and I've only booked 5 people total. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm the wrong fucking girl to be fucking with. Because let me tell you, if they don't fucking pay me, I'll fucking call every goddamn organization there is. Like, for real. And then I'll fucking get all their pictures and their fucking website and blast that shit all over my fucking social media websites and tell people to share, share, share. And then I'll fucking put all their email addresses out there public, all their fucking phone numbers. Like, no, they better fucking pay me my money. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, they already owe me, like, over $300. It's not really worth it either. Like, I feel like I could work at a fucking bar and make that in one night. No, like, I set it up to be on auto draft. I was like, this shit better go directly into my motherfucking account. Because I got a bank account now. Which I didn't want to get, but I got it. For fucking Google. I don't know. It's all really fucking strange to me. And, like, what's fucked up is they were saying, like, a lot of racial things. I did not fucking agree with that at all. Like, they were like, which, like, I'm helping out. Like, it's just really fucked up. Like, I don't know. I don't want to work. Like, I don't like the way they treat, like, they were treating the other employees. Like, some of the girls that they got rid of, like, that they fired or whatever. Like, hold on, you guys. Like, they fired, 2 girls. One of them, they had really no reason to fire her because she said that she wasn't going to pay for her background check. She was like, you can go get a background check, but I'm not going to fucking pay for it. That's what I said. And this girl's already been working for this hotel for, like, almost 5 years. And she's already been employed by this company for almost 4 months, over 4 months now. And she was like, I don't care if you go do a background check, but I'm not going to pay for it. And they were like, well, you're relieved of your duties. And she was like, am I fired? And they were like, no, but you can go home. She was like, okay, so she left. Well, the other girl came in to work. And she had, like, made, like, a pie. And the girl came back to get the pie. And she took a picture of the fucking licenses on the wall that are expired. Because she's like, if these motherfuckers fire me, they're already conducting business illegal as fuck. So since she took pictures of the fucking licenses on the wall that are expired, they decided to fire her. And they fired her. And her paycheck was short. Hey, they got it sold, sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the other girls had been working here for a long fucking time. Well, then come to find out, they brought, like, the cops here and were like, oh, well, these girls stole money and all this shit about the other girls that they fucking fired. And they said that they told them not to come back on the property anymore. But that's not true because the girl was like, am I fired? And they were like, no, you're just relieved of your duties. So she left. And they made a new schedule and everything and put her on it. But they're trying to say that they told her not to come back. Yeah, I do. Like, fuck this. It's fucking weird. Like, all that shit that happened, like, freaks me out. And I don't even want to work here now because of this shit. I think somebody's coming into this hotel to, like, rent a room. Maybe, yep. Fuck. So it's creepy. So hold on, you guys. See if I can do this shit right. Yes. You have your ID? Yeah.
Y'all okay?
Yes.
You ain't run around.
No, I grew up in, like, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, you a runner.
I live here now, but...
It's different.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A whole lot different.
Slow.
Very. I'm used to, like, a fast-paced city
Yeah.
that, like, is always awake, and this is, like, the mall closes at, like, 7 o'clock on the weekends. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's a retirement shit.
Yeah.
I got from down here. I stay in Jackson. You need to come up there sometime.
I do like Jackson. It's fun.
Yeah, I stay right there by Northport.
Have you ever stayed here?
Yeah. Man, that's fine.
Do you want a double bed or a king bed?
What they is tonight? $70?
No, it's $49.95 plus tax, so it's like $56.95.
That's so cheap. That's amazing.
Okay, I have no king rooms. Hold on.
You know that said it's a small town, you can tell when people talking
People always see my accent, and they're like, where are you from? Because I don't have, like, a southern accent.
Southern accent, yeah.
I think this computer system is fucking up. Okay. Yeah. I have no idea. They just change it, like, according to the season is what they said. Like, when a lot of people come in, a lot of people don't.
Where is it on the back?
I think it's on the front. I'm all out of.
Okay.
And then sign this, and then this one is yours. Okay, let me make you a room key.
I'm gonna make sure you're straight.
$25. Okay. I'm out of ones, so I'm gonna have to give you one. They didn't leave me any ones. Yeah, it's legal in Washington, D.C. for recreational use. Yeah, recreational means you can buy it and you don't have to have a medical card or anything.
Yeah.
Just in D.C. though. In Maryland, it's decriminalized, but you can still get in trouble if you have too much. If you have less than like an ounce, it's just equivalent to a parking ticket. Like you just get a fine. Yeah, I know. Roadway, and then there's the Wi-Fi password. You're welcome. You too. Yes. It's gonna be right here on this side. Sorry, you guys. Anybody say anything? Sorry, I'm reading you guys's. I have no idea what the fuck y'all are talking about. I do need to go back and start slinging fucking beer because this shit is not my style. Like, my first night here, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Because I'm so used to, like, a whole bunch of people, like, talking, like, I'm not by myself. And I get here and I'm like, watching infomercials and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's nothing here. It's scary, too, because it's like, the laundry room is super fucking scary. Like, I feel like I'm in, like, a fucking episode of, like, Saw or something, because the washing machines are, like, super industrial, and you can, like, fit a human being in it. Oh, that's bullshitting. That's what I'm doing. Bullshitting this fucking hotel. I'm surprised. They took the fucking name. Like, the old name was, like, Roadway Inn. And it was still on the fucking wall. And it's been on the wall, like, since they fucking bought this place. Like, they never took it off. That's one of the other red flags, too, that went up for me. Is like, okay, you have a company that buys a fucking hotel. And they changed the name of it to Fairbridge Inn. And then they put up a sign for Fairbridge Inn. But the lights don't work. None of the lights outside in the front work. And they don't bring any, like, Fairbridge Inn sign for here. They don't bring a rug for the Fairbridge Inn. They don't bring anything for Fairbridge Inn at all, except for one sign. It's old ghetto, and it doesn't fucking work outside. No licenses. And I'm employed by a fucking company that's a real estate company. I don't know, it's fucking weird, man. It's fucking really weird. Let me tell you, if these motherfuckers don't pay me, it's gonna be some shit. So let me make sure I did this shit right. Like, my first night, I fucked up so bad. Like, I only checked in one person, and I, like, overcharged the fuck out of the room. I've got, let's see, where is it at? Okay, yeah, got it. Let me make sure I picked, yeah, shit got fucking confused. Under 227, good. It's because it's Saturday. Oh yeah, I'm sure that they're selling it. See, that's the whole thing, is like, they wanted me to go and, like, the girl was like, go pay for a background check. I was like, first of all, I'm already hired, and if y'all want a background check, then go get it. And you can't fire somebody, because they don't want to pay to go get a background check. Like, okay, so that would be like firing somebody and saying you're not going to be employed until you pay for your employment. Like, that's like making someone pay to continue their employment. And then they were like, oh, you have to get these uniforms and all this shit, right? Uniforms are fucking expensive. So they were going to make us, like, okay, my whole fucking payroll check would go towards uniforms if they want me to fucking buy these uniforms. Usually a corporation, like, gives you, like, the shirts, and then you either pay a deposit or you have to pay for them if you don't bring them back. But they're like, oh, you have to go buy all this shit. And I'm like, the uniform store are fucking expensive as shit. Like, expensive. Like, my whole fucking first check would go to that shit. This job is not worth it. I'm sorry. Especially, yes, they are from India. So, and they stay in Atlanta. They stay in Atlanta, Georgia, so they're like a few states away. Yeah, so I'm just wearing whatever the fuck I want. Like, fuck it. You know? But yeah, and then, what else did they say? See, that's the whole thing, is like, why would I go out and spend my whole fucking payroll check on uniforms and then go pay for my background check in a month? This motherfucker's gonna be sold and bought by somebody else anyways. I want to move. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I want to move back to fucking Maryland so bad. I know, I just have like a little jean jacket on and like a black shirt and like a pair of leggings that have like fucking Christmas shit on it, looks like. I don't know, it's like some fucking Arabic looking design. It's like Arabian, like, it looks like I'm fucking like about to go ride on like a fucking, what are those things called in Egypt? Like a fucking elephant or something in fucking, Thailand. Oh, fuck, let me go back and smoke the rest of my cigarette. Oh, there's nobody here. This fucking place is so scary. Like, I'll show you guys the fucking, oh yeah, and they were like selling old food, or not selling old food, they were like putting out like old food and shit. I was like, ew, what the fuck? Like, Like they had like one of those cheap ass loaves of bread. Like it was like $1 loaf. Like one of those cheap ass loaves of bread you get from Walmart. And they took out like 8 slices. And nobody ate them. So since nobody ate those slices of bread, they like put them in the refrigerator and then they put them back out. I was like, ew, like, okay, that was another red flag. I'm like, if a fucking company can't pay for $1 loaf of bread, then something's not right. You know? Something's fucking weird about this. I mean, it's a nice hotel, like some of the rooms are fucked up, like there's like black mold and shit in them, so they're like out of order, but the hotel is not that bad. Like an in-ground pool, like there's an in-ground pool over there, and then that thing behind it that would have been a pool house is actually like an apartment, and it's like really nice. And that's where the manager lived, like he still lives, the one that like they fired, the one that was on the salary. And then like all the rooms are like outside, like they don't have to go into their room inside of there. But see the sign, like the sign doesn't have any lights on it. Like the light, like this is the sign, you guys, like you can't probably hardly even see it, like it doesn't light up. And to get to this hotel, why is my phone talking? Okay, just to get to the fucking hotel you have to make a fucking U-turn, and then here's the only sign that you can actually like read. Hold on, let me zoom out because I'm like zoomed all the way the fuck in. That's the Fairbridge Inn sign, okay? But if y'all go look up, there's no fucking Fairbridge Inn for Natchez, Mississippi. Like, there's none at all. So it's like, how are they able to conduct fucking business if there's no fucking LLC for this place? You know what I mean? Like, how are they able to do that? I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe because they live in Atlanta. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I guess I'll find out if I don't get my fucking payroll check. It takes like weeks sometimes for like the labor board to fuck with somebody too. So that's why I'm thinking that they're holding my payroll check till like the 28th. Because by the time I contact the fucking labor board, this place will be sold. No, it's not. It was in foreclosure. Okay, the previous owner, his name was Eric. He was also Indian. He built the hotel in 1994. And he had it. And the fucking people that were working here that they fired had been working for Eric for like years. And so he lost it because he filed for bankruptcy. He filed for bankruptcy and lost the fucking hotel, and it went up. The bank had it. This company came in from, this company JDH Realtor, so fucking right. They came in and they fucking bought it. They probably bought it for super cheap too. I'm thinking they probably bought it for whatever was owed at the bank, which was less than $300,000. For a 50-room hotel on 2.5 acres with an in-ground pool and a fucking apartment. So they bought it, and then they've been running it for 3 months with no license. They had 90 days to switch over the license. It's been over 90 days. They haven't switched over. They haven't got any license. They haven't even took down the old licenses that expired in like 2006. Super weird shit. But I went and searched the address. Like, the address is listed on 10X. Yeah. Like, I went and looked up the fucking address. He does need to do that, right? The address is listed on 10X, and it's, the minimum bid is $450,000. And you have to have $10,000 down just to bid on the fucking property. So, you know, somebody might buy it. I mean, $450,000 is still pretty cheap for this fucking hotel, because the hotel has 50 rooms, an in-ground pool, and a luxury apartment. Like, if I had $450,000, I would buy this motherfucker. Because you gotta think, they're selling the rooms for like, shit. They're selling the rooms for $49.95 a night, which is really fucking cheap. So it's like $56 with tax and everything. I'm trying to set this up. So, okay, so I booked over $227 tonight. Total, all fucking day, they have booked a good bit, like over $1,000. So I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, if you had a hotel, you gotta think about how much money you could take. But then you gotta pay for payroll and all that shit too. But if I owned my own hotel, I would just live in the fucking apartment that's on the property and not pay anybody. I would just run it myself. Yeah. And the girl, like, I feel bad for the girl that they hired, like, as a general manager, because she quit her job to work for this company, and she's probably not gonna have a fucking job as a general manager anymore, because she's a general manager through that company, what's it called? The Lodge in Natchez, which is a real estate company. So, I don't know, I feel like if somebody sells it, let's see, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. They sold like $1,000 worth of rooms today. So what's everybody else doing tonight? I'm bored. But yeah, I did listen to your video, Lunacy, about the whole thing with that price to pay or whatever it was. Like, I don't even understand all that shit. Like, it's so confusing. But I feel like they have to, like, show proof that they are who they are. Because shouldn't they? Like, I feel like if somebody requests that, then they should, and it shouldn't be a problem. You're chilling in bed, can't fall back asleep. I'll be here till 7 in the morning, so I'll probably be still awake when you're sleeping. But yeah, I was listening to that video with Luna C, if you guys haven't listened, because he goes over all the court documents, but with Heather, and she requested, like, the judge to show, like, proof that of who he is, like, that he's legally able to do that. There's proof that they're on the record there's black. Yeah, I don't understand how that works, like, because usually a judge is voted in, like, they get voted in from their community, so, and then they get sworn in, but, like, the United States of America wasn't, like, knocking on this door and they were like, hey, you want to be the judge? How does, like, what, I don't even get it, like, how does that work? Like, how does she get the documents? Like, or how does he get them? I don't know, it's fucking weird. Like, I wish I knew all the shit that I knew, like, back then, all the fucking times that I went to court. The United States of America is a corrupt fiction. America is a country. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. I have to go back. I've been, like, AWOL from fucking YouTube for a while. Like, I haven't watched any videos or anything. How is that going to work? Like, I feel like if a judge starts taking on a case, then they should finish it. I don't feel like another judge should come in. What about Parker H. Steele? Has anything come up about Parker? I still have never found anything on him. It's like he does not fucking exist at all. Like, I have not found anything. I did find some stuff on the guy that called the RV dealership. Because, look, me and, what's his name? Mike O'Brien. Okay, me and Mike called the dealership. Replace him when he retires. Okay, so he'll continue the court case until he retires, is what everybody suspects. But me and Mike O'Brien, at first I emailed, like, I went to the dealership website, and they have, like, a little chat bot that comes up, and they'll be like, are you interested in buying an RV or whatever? And I was like, look, my internet's slow, can you email me? And I, like, put the email in, because I didn't feel like talking on the chat bot, because I don't know if they can, like, talk about random things through the chat bot. So they emailed me, like, the next day, and I was like, look, I'm trying to do, like, some independent investigative work on this situation that happened at the dealership. And they responded back with, like, okay. And I was like, could I ask you some questions about a couple things? And they responded back with, sure. And then, maybe I need to go check this Steele guy out. Yeah, like, his name was spelled wrong twice, Stoney. Like, it was spelled, S-T-I-L-L and S-T-E-A-L, I think he spelled it. And I went to Mississippi and looked, like, I went to his hometown and didn't find shit on him. Did you know People versus Battle Supreme Court ruling states a infraction is not a crime, and Supreme Court ruling 1 versus Washington, D.C. Police have no duty to protect and serve. Wow. Yeah, that's right, Lunacy, with Parker Steele. Wow. The police are fucking like... The police are... It's not the same. Like, it's all different. Like, I feel like when I was a kid, like... It was different. Now it's just like... Maybe because we have smartphones and, like, cameras and all of that, like, available to us. So it's just... We're just exposing the corruption more easily than we could before. Or it's just way worse. Because it's just... Some people are like... All this shit's so crazy now with the police. I'm like, this shit could have been going on. We just didn't see it in the 90s and stuff because we didn't have cameras available so easily. I didn't find, when I was in Mississippi, I found the Steels, like S-T-I-L-L, but they were all, like, deceased, and they died, like, back in the 1800s and shit. And, like, dude, I fucking investigated so deeply into that fucking library room with all of that shit in there that I went back so far to where I knew exactly, like, how many slaves people owned in that fucking county. Like, that's how far I dug deep into that fucking place. There was, like, shit everywhere from me just, like, going through documents and stuff. And I could not find anything on Parker H. Steele. There was no Parker H. Steele nowhere. Not in any newspaper, no articles, no ads, no nothing for a fucking law firm. There was no court documents listed in there. There was no picture of him in the fucking yearbooks. There was nothing, like, nothing at all. And I was, like, pissed because I was, like, really hoping to find something. Like, I drove all the way there for nothing. Like, there was nothing. So, he doesn't exist in Mississippi. I think he's just, like, I think he just has a fake name or something. I don't know, since he's an FBI agent. But there was another guy, True Brown. He actually was a FBI special agent. He started off with the FBI back in, like, the 80s. And he worked his way all the way up to, like, special agent, like, in command or whatever. Like, he was, like, a top FBI agent. And then all of a sudden he, like, stopped working for the FBI, and now he's just employed by USAA Bank. And I thought that was really odd that somebody would move their way up so high in the FBI and then all of a sudden just stop working for the FBI and work for a bank. So I looked into him, and then I found out that he was involved in some fraudulent activity with trying to cover up some stuff that the FBI had done. And I haven't made a video on this yet because I was waiting for Mike O'Brien to, like, release those names because he had, like, information from the discovery, and he finally did. So that's why I think he doesn't work for the FBI anymore, is because he was involved with some shit that he was trying to, like, cover up some shit the FBI was doing, and then he got caught and he lost his fucking job. So what's up, Lit Fire? So but now he's employed by USAA Bank, and I don't feel like he should be, like, involved with any of this FBI shit if he's already been involved in corruption with hiding shit. Like, and he actually called the dealership. True Brown called the dealership pretending to be Randy Bean. He called pretending to be Randall Bean and said, hey, this is Randy. I want to reverse the transaction. I don't want to buy the RV. And then the dealership called Randy, and they were like, are you sure? Like, they called his number, and Randy was like, that's not me. Like, I'm not trying to reverse the transaction. So they didn't. But my thing is like, if he really stole this money, then why would they want to go and reverse? Wouldn't they want to get him for, like, if the money went back? Like, how would they get him? I don't know. It was weird. Like, who impersonates someone? Like, he impersonated Randall Bean, a fucking agent. I think he's still an FBI agent. I don't think he is. I think he's just putting down that he's employed for USAA Bank, but I think he's like an undercover FBI agent that works for the Federal Reserve banking system, because some of the names, I don't have any of this information with me. Like, I wrote down all this stuff. I got to go back and find it. But True Brown is affiliated with several agents that work with the Social Security Department, Social Security, the banking systems and all that. He was affiliated, he was like co-workers with those kind of people before his LinkedIn account said that he worked with USAA. I wonder what's up with Tom Shaw, the former VP. Yeah, didn't he like fucking resign or whatever? A lot of weird shit. So, I mean, yeah, and the True Brown guy was affiliated with people that were in with Social Security Administration and the Social Security Department and Social Security in general. Social Security didn't come out till the 70s, though, too. Because a lot of people were like, oh, these fucking bank accounts are your Social Security. I'm like, no. Like, the Federal Reserve was there way fucking before. Randy was arrested, and this case popped up. Right. Yeah. And then not only that, okay, after the TDA accounts, like, everybody was trying to access their TDA accounts, and people were getting reversed. And sometimes it would take, like, weeks to get reversed. Sometimes it would take a month to get reversed. Sometimes it would just take a couple of days. I think it's because, like, well, in the beginning it would take longer. And I think it's because somebody had to manually go into the system and reverse every fucking transaction that somebody made with the Federal Reserve Bank. So then after all this, like in July, it might have been August, I think it was in July, then they come out with the fucking, the Equifax breach, the data breach. And then all over the Washington Post and the New York Times and all these newspapers and everything, they're like, oh, the United States government is trying to get rid of the Social Security number and replace it with something else. And I think that they did that to start putting the idea in people's heads that we don't need our Social Security number anymore. If they get rid of the Social Security number and just completely abolish it and replace it, then they won't have to sit there and manually go in and reverse every single time someone tries to use their TDA accounts. They can just wipe the whole system and not have to worry about it. The market of abuse, RFID. I thought that was like something too. Like, I'm not religious at all, but like I was looking into like, okay, these TDA accounts, maybe they are like the future, like the RFID chips, where they're supposed to like implant the chips in us, and like anytime we go to the store, they're gonna like scan our hand, and that's gonna be all linked to our TDA accounts in the future. Like, that's how the one world currency, like, there's not even going to be any currency anymore. Like, it's all going to be one thing, and we're just going to have little implants where we scan our hands and shit. Because, I mean, currency isn't real. Like, it's not fucking real. After 1933, there's no more gold standard on the dollar. So when they had all the citizens bring their gold to the Federal Reserve and their gold certificates and their gold coin, they were given meaningless piece of papers that were not equivalent to the gold that they turned in. It was not worth anything. Me either. However, the chips were made at Lucent Technologies. And their address is 666 New York. Yeah, okay, that's true. And the address at 666 New York is also Donald Trump's son-in-law. He owns that building. Donald Trump's son-in-law owns 666 New York, and he paid a hell of a lot more money for that building and that address than what it was worth. So, which I thought was fucking strange. I think it's all like, all political people are connected to this shit. All of them. All have something to do with it. A lot of people think that Donald Trump is, like, against it. But there's too many connections with Donald Trump and the Rockefeller family, and he's a fucking billionaire himself. Like, he's a fucking big elite motherfucker himself. So I think they're all fucking connected, and they all want, I mean, there's video of Donald Trump saying that he was going to put in the biometric tracking system. Like, he was adamant about it. He said, it's been talked about for so long, and I'm going to make sure that the biometric tracking system is in place. That's a fucking RFID chip. And his son-in-law, at that fucking address, 666 New York, I mean, that's where the RFID chips are. Come on, people. Like, wake the fuck up. All these people are connected. All of them are. Like, all of them. And what pisses me off so bad, like, really, is, like, if you sit down and you really fucking think about everything, like, our human existence and our experience that we're having is far more complex and meaningful and not understood than a fucking piece of paper. Like, paper, like this right here, like this is bullshit. This paper is just as valuable as a fucking dollar bill, you know? Like, it's nothing. But our human, like, it's so hard to explain because it's like we have our body, which is like a vessel, but it's not really us. Like, what's us is like our consciousness. That's us. So, and we drive our bodies. But who the fuck is Donald Trump? Who the fuck is all these people to say, you can do this and you can do that and you can do this and you can do that? Like, who the fuck are they to tell me what I do with my experience as a human being? Like, you see what I'm saying? Thanks, I guess. I'll take that as a compliment. But, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so much craziness to me. Like, I feel like, yeah, we do have, like, bad people on this fucking planet that do shit that's fucked up. The connection is so full of static. It's hard to hear. Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah, they probably are. Employees of a closed corporation. The United States is bankrupt. I mean, we're like $17.7 trillion in debt. And a lot of people are like, is my connection better now? Like, I know, like, a lot of people have been asking, like, why are we in so much debt with China? Why are we all these trillions of dollars? Oh my god, my connection's bad. Let me move. It's very bad. I might have to finish this. Am I really blurry, you guys? Been bankrupt since the 30s. Yeah, and it went bankrupt twice before that. Like, it went bankrupt in the 1700s, and then it went, and then they had the states come in and say, okay, we're going to pay for the debt, the federal government's debt. And then it went bankrupt again because the states were like, fuck this, we're not paying y'all's debt anymore, because the government just makes all this debt and nobody gets to vote on where this debt's going or where this debt is coming from. So it's just like we're paying for stuff that we have no say in, where it's going, where it's coming from, and all that. So the states refused to pay the government's debt anymore. So then in 1933, the federal government said, okay, well, we'll just take all the fucking gold from all the citizens, we'll take all the currency and all that, and then we'll just make Federal Reserve notes that are meaningless and that are basically backed by the human being and their future labor. And that's what they did. They put in that executive order to make all the citizens turn in their gold and their gold certificates and their gold coin. And then they, in turn, gave them paper Federal Reserve notes that were not worth anything at all. They had nothing to back them by, except for our future labor. So, I mean, money is not, it doesn't mean anything. It's just, it's fucking worthless. It's nothing. It's all a theft scam. They're in the process of stealing. They're in the process of stealing all the money that's in Wall Street, so no investments are safe. Only one. Oh, the only one that will make out is big businesses, like, or little guy who said, yeah. You got your studio together somewhat, so now I'm starting my newscast. Okay, I'll subscribe to you. But, like, all these people have asked questions like, why are we in so much debt with China? Well, if the United States government goes to the Federal Reserve and they're like, hey, can we borrow this much money? The Federal Reserve's going to be like, sure. And then they're going to print the money, and then they're going to give it to the United States, and the United States is going to have to pay interest on the money to the Federal Reserve. But if the United States goes to China and they're like, hey, can we borrow this much money? China will then lend them the money, and the interest rate is not like it is if we were to borrow money from our own monetary system. So that is why we're in so much debt with China, because we would be in a shitload more debt if we borrowed money from our own fucking monetary system. So people just, I don't know, like I was trying to explain that to people that were bitching about the debt we have, which we shouldn't even be in debt with anyone. I think any kind of debt, like since the people are responsible for it, anytime they're like, oh, the government says they need billions of dollars for this, this, and this, I feel like the people should vote on whether or not the citizens, want this or not. Like the other day when Donald Trump was in North Korea, he was saying that we helped the North Korea with a large sum of money or something like that for their economy or something. Like, our economy's fucked. Like, why are you going over there and giving them a gift of our own fucking money? You see what I'm saying? Like, that they don't have to pay back. It was a fucking gift of our fucking money. And we didn't get to vote on whether or not we give that money to them. Right, I mean, exactly, Lunacy, it's impossible to fucking pay back. I mean, I was already in debt over $100,000 the day that I was born to the government, that I have to pay back debt. So, that I didn't get to fucking say whether or not the debt went here or there, and I didn't get to vote on any of these people. The whole voting process is a fucking joke, too. Like, I worked as a voters commissioner. So, I've seen it myself. What is today's date? Let's see. Hold on, because I have to work as a voters commissioner again on the 18th, I think. Yes, I do. Okay, yeah, I have to do another voters commissioner job on the 18th, because I do that. I, went and did the test and everything and passed it and became a voters commissioner. And when we voted for Donald Trump, the commissioner in charge, they have to, after the voting's done, they have to print out the ticket from the voting machine, and then they have to put all that paperwork together, and then they put the paperwork in a packet, and then they bring the paperwork to the courthouse. And then the courthouse has to take the paperwork to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to, a bigger courthouse. Well, my district, my area where I was a voter commissioner is less than, I can walk to it from my house, the town hall. And by the time I drove from the town hall to my fucking house, Louisiana had already declared Donald Trump the winner. And I was like, it takes 3 hours to get to fucking Baton Rouge. So, all those votes from my area, I know they weren't counted because the commissioner in charge hadn't even left with the documents before I made it back to my fucking house. So, I was like, how is that? How can they declare Donald Trump the winner for Louisiana when there's small towns that haven't even brought their votes in yet? We just closed our fucking booths, so that was a red flag for me. The whole voting shit is bullshit. We go to these places and we pretend to vote, and it's all just for fucking mental things. We really aren't voting for shit. When these people run campaigns, the elite, they're running campaigns for the elite. That's what I think. They're running campaigns for the elite, and then the elite will pick and choose who they think will have enough charisma to control the population. Right, the illusion of choice, exactly. Because that was a fucking illusion. I mean, I was already home and turned on my TV, and it was like, Donald Trump is the winner of Louisiana already. And I was like, how the fuck do they know that already? All my votes at my district hadn't even been turned in yet. So, it's all bullshit. Complete. So you have the two-party system is fucking bullshit too. You have that's, when you divide, you conquer. I mean, that's how it is. You divide, you conquer. And then our dollar bills, on the $1 bill, on the back of the $1 bill, if you look at the eagle, we had the 13 families, we had the 13 colonies, we had the 13 leaves on the little branch that the eagle's holding, the 13 fucking arrows in the other eagle's hand, the 13 steps to the all-seeing eye. It's all Masonic shit on our money. And then we have the little owl in the fucking corner of the $1 bill, like the little all-seeing eye owl, and then the fucking Bilderberg group and a Bohemian Grove and a fucking huge-ass fucking owl that they, like, fucking drink beer to naked and shit. Like, I don't even know what the fuck they do out there. I would love to fucking break into that place, like, in the middle of, like, them being there, because women are not supposed to go there. So I would love to be, like, the first woman to, like, just haul ass through the fucking woods and be like, bitches, I'm here, what the fuck are you gonna do? And live stream the whole thing. It'd be fun and scary at the same fucking time. I'd probably get killed, because they have, like, snipers and shit, like, in the fucking woods. But I would still try. Fuck it. The owl stands for Moloch from Bohemian Grove. What does that mean? Like, what is... I look at it this way. America was built on Republican values. Why does democracy exist? Why did we have bipartisanship divide the population? Yeah, I mean... Oh yeah, I know they have hidden cameras all over that. Like, I've watched other YouTube videos of, like, other people that have, like, gone in there when it was closed, like, when there was nobody there. Like, one guy, like, stole a fucking owl, like, a little owl, like, ornament, kept it from Bohemian Grove. I've always wanted to go there and check it out and see what the fuck it's like, just to see. The owl, they take it out, though, like, that guy that broke into Bohemian Grove, he has a whole bunch of fucking subscribers on his channel. He went there and took one of the little owl ornaments, but they couldn't find the owl because they take it out, like, they move it. Like, it used to be in there, but they remove it, I guess, so people won't, like, vandalize it or whatever. And they used to not allow any women there at all. But then somebody, like, petitioned the, like, California, like, Republic, and for, like, sexism or whatever. So then they started allowing some women to, like, get jobs there. But no woman has ever tried to, like, break into Bohemian Grove when they were all actively hanging out in there, as far as I know. Like, Alex Jones was there and, like, videotaped the whole thing. But some people were like, oh, Alex Jones was in the woods. Alex Jones was not in the fucking woods. He was, like, sitting in a fucking crowd with a whole bunch of people videotaping this shit. Like, I don't understand why there was why was there a crowd of people? I think it would be fun. Like, I really want to do it. I probably would get shot or something, like, in the process. But I still would do it, just to do it. And then I heard that they moved, though, too. Like, I heard they don't do it there anymore. Like, they do it, like, somewhere in, like, fucking Europe or something. Yeah, like, if I was going to break into Bohemian Grove, I would go, like, a week before and, like, camp out in the fucking woods, like, caveman style, and, like, have my camel packs all filled with fucking water, go dig me, like, a fucking gypsy well, and I would just live in the fucking woods for, like, 2 or 3 weeks before they even showed up. So then I was just already there and already fucking ready. You see what I'm saying? Fuck. Dude, this place is so fucking scary, like, I swear to God. No, it's definitely still on the West Coast because the land is prepared for their purposes. Yeah, somebody, that YouTuber that I watched that went in there, he, like, took pictures of, like, all, like, the carvings of, like, all the shit they have, like, for the different camps. Like, every camp is, like, named different, like, the Hillbilly Camp, and that was, like, put in for the fucking Bushes, the Bush administration and the Bush people and all that shit. And there's, like, a devil, like, dancing with, like, horns and shit, like, weird fucking demonic shit. I'm like, why? Like, why? You know, like, if I ever became the fucking president and, like, went to the Bilderberg group or went to Bohemian Grove, I'd be like, I want a unicorn and, like, fucking rainbows and shit on my fucking plaque. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do they want, like, some demonic shit? And they're supposed to be, like, super fucking hardcore, like, Christians, like, and they got, like, demons and, like, the devil and shit, like, on their little fucking carving. You have to look at the pictures of it if you haven't seen it, you guys. It's fucking scary. Have you guys ever heard about that underground base? Like, okay, have any of you guys heard the story of Phil Snyder? The guy that was like a geologist for the fucking government, and he like blew the ground up to build underground bases, and he like ran into like some alien greys that like blew his fucking hands off and shit. Has anybody been in the military that's in this fucking broadcast or in here listening to this live stream? I do You Now broadcast a lot, so. Yeah, Dulce, that's right. And he had like no fucking fingers. Like he had like two of his fingers were like glued together, and like a lot of his fingers were missing. And there was only three survivors, I think, and everybody else died. And he came out and spoke out against it, saying that there was like aliens like under there, and they like rubbed their belly, and like some fucking radiation came out of them and like fucked them all up. And then he like mysteriously hung himself with like fucking piano wire, which I don't even know how the fuck that's possible, because the guy had like no hands, so I don't know how he was even able to like tightly kill himself with piano wire. And he wouldn't have done that anyways. Like he was all like, fucking go, get this information out. As you said, I'm not religious either. Reason is King James Bible. The author, King James, also wrote a book called Demonology. A lot of people don't or won't even research it. Oh, yeah. I've heard about this, but I've never actually researched it. But one of the girls that works here that got fired, I was talking to her about that shit. She's like, do you even know what King James is? And I was like, I think he wrote like a fucking satanic book or something. She was like, yeah. Hey, what is that? Ooh, shit. Hold on. Let's see. Ooh, what the fuck? Fucked up. Okay, hold on. Hey, what is that guy's name that figured out his trust first and got like... Are you talking about Randall Bean? Many Christians won't even acknowledge the book they took out. Yeah. I've heard of the Book of Enoch, which is... I heard it was fucking weird. Stone. Are you talking about Randy Bean? Are you talking about Tim Turner? He got locked up for like 18 years or some shit. I don't know. What was his name? Is it like Warren something? I can't think of what his last name is. Was it somebody that was affiliated with Heather? I know who you're talking about, I think, but I can't remember what his name is. They say that he like started OPBT and he got locked up and he like gave it to Heather, is what they say. Like he turned her into the trustee, like his part or something. I don't know about that because I really haven't looked into that too much. Like I've heard, like before all this shit happened, like I've heard of One People's Public Trust, because I've looked into like the whole sovereign citizen movement and like your fucking social security card and heard about the whole conspiracy theory, but I didn't know who Heather was or Randy was really until all this shit happened. So, but I don't know, but I heard there was a guy, I can't think of what his name is, somebody would have to Google it. I'm probably going to get off here because I've been on here for 69 minutes and I might get on later. I'm going to go on You Now though for a while if you guys want to go to You Now and listen, because I need to like move up on You Now. I just can't remember his name. Yeah, I'd have to go Google. But I think I am going to get off here, you guys, because I've been on here for 70 minutes, and fucking YouTube hates me. Like, I'll try to monetize this, and they'll be like, fuck no, bitch, you ain't monetizing shit. Luna C, you need to monetize your videos. What the fuck are you doing? Monetize those motherfuckers. I'll help you do it. I'll show you what to do. Gonna get off on us now. No. No, thank you. Why? Are you scared YouTube will fuck with you? If you do, they probably will. I don't know why. You would think that they would leave the people alone that are making them money. Free from corporate influences. Good for you. I'm broke. That's why I monetize my shit. If I wasn't broke, then I wouldn't monetize it. Yeah, like, most of the fucking ads that come up on mine are, like, they're trying to get people to, like, buy this fucking game app, like, game apps, like, download this app game or whatever. Like, I really don't have too many, like, product. Like, they don't put products or, like, corporate shit on mine. Because the higher the corporate, like, company on the ad, the more money that they pay you. Like, the better the ad. Like, GMC is, like, a really good ad to have because they pay you a lot. CoverGirl, companies like that. But most of the ads that, like, us lower YouTubers get, like, people that don't have a shitload of fucking subscribers, we get, like, ads where they're, like, trying to get people to buy fucking applications and shit. Like, buy this game, like, Candy Crush and shit like that. So, but I do it. I don't fucking care. Like, it's not charging the people. Like, fuck the corporation. They can give me that fucking money. How is your channel not eligible for monetization? All you need is 10,000 views. And I know you've got over 10,000 views. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, this is my second channel, and it took me a week and a half to get it monetized. Oh, what country are you in? Okay, well then that's bullshit, because I'm in the United States. Did you put the wrong country into your information or something? Oh, well, yeah, yeah, you need to go back and fix your information and put in the United States. If you just stay at it, Sony, you'll get more views. You have to be consistent. Like, when I first started, I started YouTube in 2008. On my main channel. This is my second channel. And I started posting videos, like, in 2009, I think, 2010, just, like, random videos. And then I was doing, like, police encounter videos. And then I started doing conspiracy theories and then the Federal Reserve and all that shit. So, but when you first start, you literally have to post videos, like, every single day or a couple of times a day. Literally. So, if you want to actually, like, do something with YouTube. Like, if you want to make money off of, like, YouTube, then you have to be consistent. Willow got a main and a side channel. Really appreciate that. I got my main channel and my side channel. But I got kicked. This is my new one. You got kicked off your main one? See, I have 2 strikes on my main channel right now. That's why I made this channel. And I made most of my videos private on my main channel, except for, like, the really fucking cheesy ones that won't get any views or get any strikes. And I just post on there randomly sometimes if I'm posting on this channel. And my strike doesn't lift until, one of my strikes doesn't lift until November 11th. So once that strike is lifted, then I'll go back to my main channel. But I'm going to use my main channel for more, like, personal videos and just random shit. And this one I'm going to use for, like, live streams and, like, certain fucking topics. I don't know. Really, I don't know. I'm kind of disorganized on YouTube. You know. But I'm about to get off of here because I've been on here for, like, 75 minutes. I'm going to subscribe to your channel, Stony Stone. So make sure you subscribe to mine. You probably are. But I love you guys. I'm getting off of here. Let me go see how many people dislike this video so I'll know how many haters came in here. I made a fucking email address just for the fucking haters. Nobody's emailed me though. They're too scared. Night night. I'll be awake till 7 o'clock in the morning at this fucking hotel. So y'all will be going night night. Thanks, I'm on all of them. Yeah, and you should do YouNow too, Stony Stone, if you really want to, like, get into the whole social media broadcasting shit. Download YouNow, because it's kind of blown up. I've been on there since they started. But, alright, I love you guys. I'm probably going to broadcast on YouNow later, just to do something, because I'm bored. But, bye. What's the email for the haters? It says fans that hate. It's called fans that hate at yahoo.com. Hey, have you checked out BitChute? No, I haven't. Is it a YouTube channel? I have to check it out. I need to write this down because the chat will be gone forever after this. I think. At least I've never been able to figure out how to find the chat again. A platform for videos. Oh, no, I haven't. I really wish that somebody that could fucking... If I could code, if I was a genius at this shit, I would build a new social media platform just kind of like YouTube. Except it would be like where the parents could like, you know, block certain shit for certain age groups, and then like people of certain, like, just where like ad companies could come in and pick and choose who they want to advertise on, because YouTube is such assholes with that shit. Like, they're monopoly. Like, there's no other place out there. A lot of truthers are moving from her BitChute. I'll have to look it up. They're doing away with binary code. There's no more zeros and ones. There's no more anything. Right now, we don't fucking exist. Everything is just a fucking illusion. Fucking machine just started printing shit out. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here because I've been on here for a long time, and I'm gonna go look up that guy that you're talking about. Is that you now, Twitter? Wait, you, no? I don't think so. I don't know. I think YouNow might be owned by Twitter. I don't know. There's a link in the description of this video for my YouNow. If you click on that, it'll take you to YouNow. Like, I know if, I tried to set it up to where if I broadcast on YouNow, it'll come up on my YouTube, but I can't ever get it to work. But just go in the description and look here, and you'll see my YouNow link. But I love you guys. Bye. Please subscribe to my channel. Mwah.